Hey everybody.
All right.
How are you?
Yeah.
Welcome back to Taco Tuesdays. This is where we, as always, we discuss, all the good things, health and fitness, from mental to body to even nurturing the spirit or the heart. I am Nick. I am a nutritionist. I am a personal trainer, a restorative movement specialist, and I also have a huge passion for helping people understand what's going on within themselves so that they can make change outside of themselves. And this is Brandon. Go ahead.
Hi, guys. I'm Brandon Glass. If you don't know me yet, from inside the group, got a lot of new people. That's fantastic. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a coach. I'm a physical therapist assistant and a fitness nutrition specialist. That's my whole resume. If you want to know more, just send me.
There's definitely more, but yeah.
There's a lot more. Yeah, too much.
I know, that's a problem. That's not a problem. Anyway.
Nah, it's all good stuff. It's all good stuff.
Yeah.
So, Nick, what's going on today? I guess I'm starting out, right?
Yeah. But as you know, just like every other live we do, the goal is to provide very powerful information that you can use to, one, change your thought process right now so that you can make change over time. And that's what we're shooting to do here. So if you can hear us, if you're out there, give us a thumbs up, drop a comment in the comments. We love to hear from people. That's really how we can get more of this. We like to have a lot more of it. So yeah, but yeah, Brandon, take it away.
Yeah. So like we said in the description, today's going to be pretty simple and direct. We want to talk about 3 of our kind of biggest needle movers that help the people that we've worked with lose weight, get fit, and keep it that way. I think you guys know that our big focus is sustainability and being realistic and not taking temporary measures if we can help it. So this stuff is easy to put into practice. It's easy to implement. It's simple, pretty easy to understand, I think. I'll try not to complicate it too much. And the results, like without these things, though, really, we can't really expect to move forward. That's how I feel about it. Let's just jump right in, Nick.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, before we get, I guess, started in those first things, I'm going to be honest, and this goes back to what I was just talking about. I'm going to be honest and maybe a little blunt. We really help a lot of people and we enjoy doing it. What we do is essentially we help figure out what works for everybody. And oftentimes, there isn't a cost associated with it.
Right.
And, especially because we have the opportunity to provide that information or to provide that nudge in the right direction. And so we help a lot of people, and all it is a lot of times it's just talking, right?
Yeah.
And I try to talk to as many people in the group as I possibly can. And, if you're not seeing, if you're like, well, what about me? I haven't gotten a message from you. Look in your inbox. There's a little hidden folder in there. I likely have sent you a message. So, but yeah, everybody's right here in the group, and I do it a lot of places. I do it all as many places as I can. Yeah. But the reason why I do this is because sometimes all a person needs is to be pointed in the right direction. A little information, a little nudge, and away they go. And that's sometimes all you need. Some of them, need a little bit extra, and that's okay. But all of them, every single person that we've really pushed and made a lot of help, they've made it known that they needed a hand. They raised their hand. They said, yes, I'm here. I'm interested in what you guys are talking about. And we do this because, a lot of times, like I said, that's all it takes. It's just that nudge in the right direction. But we cannot help you if you don't make it known that it's what you need. Totally. So if you're here and you're listening, make yourself known. Okay. So back to what Brandon had started off with. Basically, actually, Brandon, that I'm not the best at The very first topic we want to talk about. So why don't you take the very first point here? It has to do with kind of like organization, and I'm good at it in some ways, but not in others. So, but that's exactly why there's more than one of us here, right?
Yeah,
To
for
make
sure.
sure that we can provide everybody here with the best possible information and action steps that you can get in your life. So, Brandon, why don't you run with this one?
Totally. Okay. Yeah. A little planning, right? So what to
Yeah.
eat, what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat, right? I'm not talking about planning every single thing that you're going to eat for the week. That's definitely it's definitely possible. Some people really like that. I find that most of us like the idea of that, but don't really like it in practice, right, Nick? I think we see that a lot. Yeah, I want to be that person. I think Ali posted like, I wish I love this in the group. I wish I was the person who who bought
Yeah.
all the vegetables this week, something like that. Totally. Yeah, we want to we totally are attracted to that idea of like planning it all out and
Being
getting it
perfect.
done. But you know, this is something that we do for a lot of our clients also. But for the most part, a lot of it's really providing the information. This is where a lot of people like kind of get lost in all of the stuff, right? All the
Mhm.
different sources of information out there that a lot of the time are not really reliable. You'll see them in different groups or associated with different diets, right?
Yeah.
So guidance, so people can kind of understand these things and really understand how it works. Now, conventional wisdom tells us the less we eat, the less we'll weigh, basically, right? Calories in versus calories out. But conventional wisdom has also been around for a really long time, and the obesity epidemic has done nothing but grow and grow and grow and grow. um, I wish Rebecca was in here with us, because she'll tell you she doesn't worry nearly as much about how much she eats as she does about what she eats and when she
Yeah.
eats. So sorry to
Yeah. I
call
saw
you
this
out,
was
Rebecca.
no. I noticed that this was a topic discussion in the group actually just a little bit ago before you and I hopped on a call to make preps for this. But yeah, so this is people are talking about this right now.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this has definitely been a topic in the group. So when we worry about how much you eat, it is not to restrict your calories, right? It's to make sure you're eating enough most of the
Mhm.
time. Because most of us are in that calorie restriction mindset. Hey, I'm eating too much. I'm eating too much, and it's not all about that. Right. So I wish I could just give you guys like a magic formula. And of course, there are some universal truths,
Mhm.
and they're kind of mean, right? You cannot eat ice cream every single night after dinner. I know I'm a jerk, but you really can. Um, but the truth is, this looks, quite different for everyone, right? It's pretty subjective. We all live different lives, different activity levels, different lifestyles, different work hours. Some of us are on our feet a little bit more. Some of us have, done the restrictive diets and, need to kind of recover our metabolism sometimes. So, it is. You have to
Yeah.
plan for you. If you take on something that's too rigid, it'll be boring. You'll waste your time. It won't be sustainable. You'll waste your money, your energy, and you'll end up right back where you started, right? And I want to know,
Hey,
like,
hey, before you
yeah,
jump into that, I actually maybe you're gonna explain it, but you said something just a second ago that I think it would be powerful to explain. You said you may have to recover your metabolism. Will you just explain that real quick?
yeah. So the metabolism, right? We tend to think again, right, that it works like a gas tank, right? You put calories in, you put calories out. And so if you put less calories in, you won't have to put as many calories out. It doesn't work like that though. Our body really works like a thermostat. I've mentioned this a lot. Your body adjusts for how many calories you put into it. So when you start restricting the hell out of your calories, your body starts restricting the hell out of how many calories you spend just being alive, right? All that, like, yeah, I went on a diet and I lost quite a bit of weight at first because your body was like, whoa, what the hell's going on? Your body figures that out pretty quickly though, and then goes, you know what? We're going to spend like half as many calories because we don't know when the next time we're going to get them, right? So that's what I mean. Like sometimes it's a really tough lesson for people, but you gotta eat more. You gotta purposely eat more
it's
food.
hard to grasp that information, that idea. I can eat more and still lose weight. Yes. Right. The answer is yes.
Yeah, it is. It's yes. And it goes against everything. everything
else that's out there.
Learned, right? Crazy. Yeah, everything we've been told since like the 70s. But guys, I mean, seriously, I've gone over study after study after study, tons of research. I know a lot of people are like, no, that doesn't sound right, so I'm not going to do it. But really, you've tried it the other way, right? Almost everyone here has tried it the other way.
Or, the typical way is what you should be saying.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. The typical
What's
way.
Common right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, how many of us have done that? That's the question. I bet tons of us in here have. Has anyone ever tried a meal plan or planning for meals or a diet, and it just didn't work out, or it worked for a minute and then you couldn't keep it up and it blew up in your face eventually. Right.
A lot of people I talk to are like, yeah, I go and see a nutritionist or I go and see a dietitian, and those things are great. And they can provide a lot of information, right? Like that's, you and I do that, but it's implementation of something that is sustainable. I can tell you to eat boiled chicken and broccoli every night for the rest of your life, and you'll probably lose weight, but you're not going to have any fun in your life. And every time you eat, it's going to suck.
Yeah. Not sustainable. You're going to fall off. Right. Yeah. And you need to be able to have, pleasure in your diet. It's part of our life. And you can't get around that. Dietitians are fantastic. I've worked with some excellent, like really, really amazing dietitians. But
this is what I went to school for. I went to school to be a dietitian.
Right. But the missing part, right, is, they're not always, necessarily well-versed in behavior change.
Exactly. Which is why I chose not to end up with that route. I still have my credentials, but I didn't go that route. Yeah. I don't even claim it.
So I want to get going into the next one. Guys, you can always ask questions if you have them, by the way. But if you're out there, let us know, the last time you really tried to make a plan and it didn't quite work out. Cause we get this a lot. Like, make me meal plans. Do you guys do meal plans? Yeah, sure. And we dish them out. And what happens, Nick?
Nothing. Did anybody out there use any of the meal plans that we put together for more than a week? I checked in with people and I got nothing.
Right. And so that's the thing, they can work. They work for some people. I do have a few people out there that are like, these are great. And they use them all the time, but they do require some tinkering and kind of customization, right? Like they've got to fit in with your life. And it's a lot, it's a lot more work than people think.
It's a wrench in the bucket. Anyway.
Yeah. So, let us know. Let us know if that's happened to you. We're good at giving nudges in the right direction, but we can't help if we don't hear from you. So let us know if that's something that you kind of struggle with. Nick, let's talk about sleep. I want you to do that. That's your thing.
Good. I like this. Is one of my favorite topics. It's big. It's a big one for me because, I've struggled with sleep for like forever. Literally my whole life. It was a big issue until just a few years ago. When I was finally able to figure out what the hell I needed to do to fix my sleep issue. Right. And when that happened, everything changed. And I'm not exaggerating. Like everything in my world changed. It's so huge in so many ways. Yeah. And it's another big needle mover actually for a lot of our clients, is we have sleep science education, and we even have a sleep experiment for people who really, really need to tweak that and make it right. And it basically resets the circadian rhythm. It recovers the mind, which is much more important than you think. It helps to recover the body physically, and it helps to beat back cortisol and a bunch of other hormone regulation.
There you go. Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. And so historically, right, why sleep is so big, I guess I'm going to talk about that. Historically, you know, the natural process of the sun rising and the sun setting worked really well for us. You know, our ancestors knew that when it's time to go to sleep and when it's time to wake up. We just follow the sun cycle. And we had really good circadian rhythm. You know, and that means that our circadian rhythms are our body's biological clock, so to speak. Like it's like a regulator for so many things health-wise. I could literally do a whole talk on just the circadian rhythm, but we don't have to get into that. Just know you need to have a healthy circadian rhythm for fat loss. But now we have, you know, in this generation, this era, the 21st century or whatever we're in, we have all this stimuli, right? We have lights, there are TVs, there are phones, there are tablets, food, there's caffeine, sugar, ice cream, right? You were just talking about that. Literally anything that we have access to right now, it feeds our brain signals that it's not time to sleep. It's not actually time to sleep.
Right.
And so what happens is it screws up our circadian rhythm, that body clock. Yeah. And even if you're getting sleep, it's probably not the right sort of sleep. You're probably not in the right stage of sleep. You don't get to the point where you have the correct physical recovery, the correct mental recovery, and the correct hormonal recovery.
Yeah, that REM.
And that sort of sleep. Say it again.
Said, yeah, that REM sleep is really, really important.
Yeah, that sort of sleep is mega important for the recovery of body, mind, and hormones. And that good sleep keeps the circadian rhythm in that healthy state, right? And therefore promotes the regulation that I was talking about.
Very much a cycle. And so when it's not in place, when it's not healthy, it can be some work to...
It's detrimental, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it can be some
Which is why I say it's like one of the biggest needle movers we have is that sleep chunk. And that actually leads to, you know, a healthy metabolism, healthy energy. And when you lose those things, when you don't have those things, you're not going to, it's harder we've talked about willpower in here before, right? When you don't have good sleep, good energy, good vibes coming out of you, it's hard to make good choices. And so when you do have those things, it's much more likely for you to make better choices. And weight loss it goes along with it. If it's there to lose, you're much more likely to lose weight if you're getting that good, correct sleep.
It's crazy how much this is overlooked, I think, and undervalued.
Yeah. Actually, I just had a thought. Actually,
no,
I don't think you have a problem with it. Would you be upset if we gave that away, like the sleep experiment?
Upset? I don't get upset.
Okay, so
yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So if you are interested in that sleep experiment I was talking about, that literally resets your circadian rhythm and everything I just talked about, just put like sleep experiment in the comments or something. If you know that you need better sleep, or you think, actually, maybe I do need better sleep, or maybe I need to reset something. And if you do that, I'll reach out and I'll literally give you that chunk because it's that important. And I think actually one of our previous clients in here, you called out Rebecca, I'm going to call out Tanya. She could attest. She could attest to how powerful this was for her. And actually, Tanya, I think I just talked to you yesterday. So if you're out there, or if you listen later, you know, drop a comment in the feed and just let everybody know how much you benefited from that little bit of sleep experiment or whatever.
Definitely. Awesome. Okay. Activity. Let's talk about that. Now, this is the most subjective of all, I think. You really have to find the activity, not even necessarily the workouts that are for you and your body and your goals. You really just have to find out what's right for you, what feels good to you, what fits in with your lifestyle. You can't expect to do the same thing as everyone else because they may have different goals or enjoy different things. If you freaking hate running, then don't freaking run. Nick, you're raising your hand. Did you have something?
Yeah, I just saw Lisa jumped in. She dropped a comment. She said it's probably best to keep things simple, but that can get boring. That's true, and I think that went back a little ways, maybe when I was talking about boiled chicken and broccoli. But so Lisa, if you're still watching, clarify for us.
yeah. That's definitely a balance, and we'll talk more about that, especially if you want to elaborate. But I think that was about diet. But it also applies to exercise too. And
definitely. That's what I thought. I was like, maybe this is a good time to put that in there.
Yeah, it applies to all of it. I mean, that's a really great, that's what it comes down to, right? I mean, I say it all the time. Balance is the secret to life. But sticking with activities specifically, again, maybe you like hiking, maybe you like group boot camps, I don't know, biking, swimming. It doesn't matter. We tend to really think of our exercise as the biggest thing, right? Everybody comes and they're like, I don't work out enough. Okay. Your exercise accounts for very little of your caloric expenditure, not to be a jerk about it and not to undervalue it. Okay. But I want to really push the value of what it does for your mind as well. Okay. And what it does for you hormonally. It's not just a calorie thing, right? Do it for your heart and do it for your head more than anything, right? We know that, coming back to your point about sleep, also, we know that obesity is a hormone issue more than anything. It is hormonally driven. There's no way around that. And so these things that help control those hormones around satiety, around stress, around all the things. The hormones control everything. Okay, regulating those is paramount. It's huge, and that's a lot of what exercise does. Now, so I want to say, you have to find what you do and what you love and do it, what you enjoy and do it. But I'll also say this: it is good to push your comfort zone a little. It's good to break up that routine and mix it up. It's good to do hard things. It's good to keep your body guessing. These are all good things.
There's a huge amount of studies out there that it's basically the benefactors of not doing or not being great at something. So anything that's hard. I know we're talking about activity right now, and that's huge. But anything that's hard, it's good for your brain. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your body.
Totally.
Continue.
And I know people come in here for sort of those give me the answer. And so I do want to kind of drop a truth bomb here. Resistance exercise is way more important than you think. We get a lot of people that are I'm doing tons of torture on the on the treadmill or the elliptical. Right. They're like cardio, right? We've been told for ages that cardio is the only way to lose exercise. And that's to lose weight, to control fat, to burn fat. And that's BS, 100% BS. That is not how it works. So, one, you can do it so many ways, right? It is not, it's not that low intensity, solid, steady state cardio that gets so boring, like the treadmill, right? You can do it so many ways. It burns, the treadmill. It burns plenty of calories, and it does it faster than lower intensity, steady state cardio, right? Super important for muscle tone and firming up. If you want those muscles to show up, that's how you do it. It's good for bone health. It's good for your functionality and your mobility. The more muscle you have, the higher your resting metabolism will be as well, but also releases all those great endorphins and the stress reducing hormones as well. Really, really important, right?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. And, this doesn't mean that you have to get super bulky. Chances are you won't get bulky unless you're like really actually trying to get bulky. Chances are you're
I
not going
love
to get
that.
bulky. I
Yeah.
know. How many times have you had, I almost called you dude.
You
How
can
many
call me.
times have you had somebody come to you and say like, well, yeah, I want to do this, but I don't want to get bulky. Right.
Oh, all the time.
Right.
All the time.
Well,
And on occasion it happens, but someone's like, I'm getting a little more muscle than I want to. Hardly ever.
yeah,
Hardly ever.
it's very rare. Like I said, it doesn't happen unless you're really, really trying.
You're not going to
But
accidentally
it will get more dense. It will get stronger. It will get faster. And these are all good things for fat loss, right? Because it
Yeah.
keeps your metabolism. When you have that much, when you have lean muscle, it keeps your metabolism high. It keeps your metabolism working.
Right.
Again,
Especially that
all this other
fast
stuff we're
twitch.
talking about. Yeah,
Especially that fast twitch muscle.
definitely.
Burns it
By the
up.
way, Lisa put another comment out. She said kettlebells helped me before, but she would only attempt it with a personal trainer. That's great, but there's still 100 million other things that you can do resistance-wise.
Yeah, kettlebells are awesome. Yeah.
Kettlebells are great. I love them.
I just did a kettlebell workout for myself yesterday, and it absolutely but and don't get me wrong, cardio is really good too. Okay. I don't want to just totally dump on cardio, especially if it's your jam. The most important thing, right, is doing what you enjoy and doing something consistently. That's more important than anything else. More important than what you're actually doing is that you're actually doing something and you're going to keep doing it. If you love hitting the stair climber or the elliptical, that's great. Do what you love, but changing it up and adding some resistance exercise could really help you reach your goals. Also, resistance exercise can really provide a good cardiovascular challenge as well. I think people discount that a lot.
Definitely.
But that's definitely the case. So it's just a little bit different kind.
For sure.
Right.
I actually really like the stair climber myself, which I know is maybe kind of strange. You don't see many men on a stair climber, but I actually really enjoy it because it's kind of super resistance, right? It's like cardio induced resistance workout. Like you're using that body weight to constantly go up, up, up. And if you throw a couple dumbbells in your hand, like, whoa.
Yeah. Totally.
But also, did you have more to say? I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
Continue.
I was going to say, also with that cardio, that level of cardio, it's good because you have that extended rate period of, a caloric expenditure, to get a lot of verbiage there. It's a longer period of time where you're burning calories. And so it's not a bad thing, but it's definitely not something you absolutely have to do every single day until you're just hating life, right? But it also boosts your healthy hormones, your endorphins, and these are all good things. It all goes back to that circadian rhythm. It energizes you, especially if you do it over time, which means that your metabolism is increasing on its own, which means that you'll burn more fat, which means that you'll sleep better, which means that et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
I could go on and on.
That's that cycle, right? That's that cycle, that circadian rhythm. We're born to move. We're made to move and work. And so if you don't do that, hell yeah, you get to the end of the day, right? Our lifestyles have changed so much. We get to the end of the day and we've been sitting down, working all day, stressing on something all day. Our body is all full of crap hormones that we haven't got rid of. And your body is also, your brain is like, hey, you haven't done your job today, right? Even though you've been working all day, you haven't moved your body, and your brain knows it. Your brain's like, hey, it's not time to rest. You've been resting as far as your brain is concerned, right? But you have that mental and emotional fatigue from work, perhaps, so that's where, figuring out where to fit it into your lifestyle really comes into play, right? Knowing that you're going to be exhausted at the end of the day, even though you haven't really done anything for yourself physically. So much to talk about there, right? So much. So bottom line, find something you like doing and do that a lot. It's good to push the intensity and challenge yourself. It's good to try new things. I wish
Definitely.
I wish we could get I wish we could get Rachel in here with us, but she'd probably rather have a root canal. Um,
Okay.
but she is the epitome of being adaptable, and learning to love new things and find new ways of challenging herself. You know, she's had some injuries over the years, and she's had to change up her routine a lot. She didn't grow up doing, you know, exercising at all, just wasn't part of, you know, of her life as a young person. And to watch her really embrace it and make it such a big part of her life. I mean, she really is an active person, and just it shows so much. And probably surprises a lot of the people that she grew up with. But she's awesome at that, like super adaptable. It's pretty impressive, pretty inspiring.
Yeah, and that's what it takes a lot of times. That's all it
All
takes.
right. So we've been going on. I just want to, you know me, big takeaway. What can you do? I just want to kind of summarize these things. Establish that eating routine. What I eat, and I'm just going to say it, eat as little processed foods as possible, guys. If you really want to hear that, like, you know, that one takeaway there, don't cut out entire food groups or do any crazy temporary diets. Try to cut out those processed foods. That will go a longer way than anything else. How much you eat, don't restrict the hell out of your calories. Don't just don't, right?
Yeah, I think we've said that a million times. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep saying it because it's gonna keep coming up. But and then when you eat, set yourself up for success. That way by planning out, not necessarily every last meal for the next month, but when you eat, you know, that eating window, when you start eating for the day, and when you'll be done eating. Lisa's taken off. Bye, Lisa.
Yeah, I was waiting.
You know, and allow for flexibility in your life. Have fun sometimes, right? But make that routine, and try not to waffle around too much with it, or else you'll never really get into it, and it will always be hard. There's kind of a little, like, you know, rip off the Band-Aid involved there, right? Sometimes we got to just kind of get over that hump, suffer through a couple of weeks of like, okay, you know, this takes a little getting used to, but then we do it. Now, making sleep a priority. Let's move on to that one. Big changes happen when you are getting enough sleep, and the right sleep. It's that important, guys.
Very important.
Right? We only named 3 things today. Sleep is one of them. It's freaking huge.
Yeah.
You really cannot underestimate this.
Changed my life. I'm telling you, I cannot stress that enough. It changed my life.
You and so many people, other people. I used to work in the brain injury clinic over at the VA here in the Bay Area, and so many of the people that I worked with in my physical therapy clinic were really, really suffering because they weren't getting the right sleep. They weren't getting enough.
Real. It's a real thing. It's a real struggle.
Very, very real. So yeah, make it a priority. Do not ignore that. I mean, this affects everything from burning fat to cognition to emotional health. Okay, all of it.
Very broad spectrum.
Yeah, very broad. It umbrellas everything, really. Activity. Okay, play around a little. Find out what sort of activity you really enjoy. Maybe you already know. Maybe you need to tinker around a little bit. It doesn't have to be the gym. Maybe it's walking. Maybe it's group classes or yoga. Try to challenge yourself. Walk up that big hill. Walk faster. Do something hard. It feels good. What's up?
Hey, Boot. I just gotta get a really good. I don't know. Obviously, I'm a little excited about this. This is a perfect opportunity to. It's your thing. So Brendan has this really cool exercise platform that we run a bunch of fitness classes through. Brendan, you want to? We never talk about it here because we don't like to be pushy or whatever.
Right.
But I think it's important that people know what they have you know, as the
Available to
option.
'em. It is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
absolutely. So
available
what
to
do
you
you have
guys.
to offer?
Okay. Yeah, put me on the spot.
No, it's a good thing, man. We should get.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hope Beth and
absolutely.
Eden both see this too because they're in this too.
Yeah. We have 5 days a week of classes. We're always looking to add more, especially, as our class sizes grow. Yeah, I love teaching my class. Beth and Eden, who teach some really awesome classes. I love you ladies. You're amazing. You're so awesome, and I'm lucky to have you. And yeah, we have a good time. So yeah, a variety of classes. Like I said, some boot camp, some yoga, some kickboxing. Is a lot of fun with Eden. So that's all at Moxie. That's MOXIE.XYZ/CCF.
I will put that in the comments.
Yes, please do. Please do. Yeah, or you can reach out to me, send me a message, and I'll hook you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's a lot of fun.
Options.
I teach two high intensity interval training classes, functional HIIT classes, and those are super fun. I enjoy it.
Good. Yeah. Well,
Bringing that up.
yeah. So there's a reason why we've never like really said it in here, I guess, because we try not to be salesy, but I do like, I think it might actually be a really good option for a lot of people here.
Sure.
It's like workouts and meeting with one of your coaches all at the same time, all in your home.
Yeah.
Like you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, as I haven't been in a gym in years. Okay, it's been a really long time since I've been in a gym. I'm doing just fine, keeping myself good and strong. So are a lot of the people that are here with us. If I'm going to shout out Rebecca again, she hits those classes up. Rebecca is super strong. And I'll shout out Rachel again too. She's in those classes also. We've got some others as well drop in there. So yeah, it's a good deal. Right. So, and if you don't like that, that's okay. If you're not into the online workout thing, maybe you need to look into Zumba. Maybe it's dancing, salsa dancing, or jujitsu, or synchronized swimming, or tap dancing. I don't know. Those things totally count though. And it doesn't have to be an organized activity either. Okay. It can be hiking or walking or whatever it is, just being outdoors. So, all right, let's wrap it up. Guys, if you need help figuring any of these things out, please let us know. If you're not watching this or listening to this in our Facebook group, you're not there already, then join our Facebook group. It's awesome. That's Drop the Fat, Not the Tacos. That's that's where we do a lot of reaching out. That's where we talk with a lot of you guys.
That's true.
And if you are in here with us, drop a comment or even message us directly. It's all good. Please reach out to us and ask us questions. We're happy to have a conversation. But again, we can't help if we don't know you need it, and we're here for that. So we really like having those one-to-one conversations with you guys. Yep. We care about our community. We really do. We enjoy reaching out to people. I want you guys to keep doing what you are always doing in this group, and what we love most about this group, and that's lifting each other up. I say it every week at the end here, and I'm just going to keep on doing it because it's number one. You guys,
it's so powerful. I'm not 100% active in there. I have very specific tasks, and that's what I get through. But when I do have a moment, I will scroll through, and like I love seeing all of the help that goes on in the group. It's really it is. I think we've said it probably a dozen times before, but like it really does fill our buckets when we see that kind of stuff, because that's exactly what we set out to create. Am I right?
Yeah, 100%. We wanted to create a positive environment so number one was positive energy and support. And the other one was reliable health and fitness information. That you could get from
all like-minded individuals, whether it's us and you or everybody else out there. That's what we're going for, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the place for that. We really, really value you guys, and thanks for being part of that, because we do. We love it. It's a big, big part of what fills our bucket, as Nick says.
Yeah.
So let's get out of here.
So, yeah, make yourself known. You got to make yourself known. Otherwise, that might be all it takes. But
yeah, could make a really big difference in your life. Seriously, ask some people around the group. Because we do, we really, that's what it's all about. We want to change lives.
Yeah.
All right. I love you guys. We're out of here. Let's get going, Nick.